What's your hometown famous for? Voodoo Donuts, Powell's Bookstore. A Canadian coffee shop called Tim Hortons. McDonald's in Canada is better than Tim Hortons. Michigan International Speedway. The guy who created the Comic Sans font graduated from my high school. Also just all the shit that went on at my garbage of a high school. The real Dursley House is in my hometown. Filmed on site for the Philosopher's Stone but used a set after that, I believe. Being one of the crappiest cities in the country. I'm guessing you live in Cleveland. I would guess Gary, Indiana if it were anywhere in America. I grew up close to Gary. There were cities out there. Well, stop trying to compete with Stockton and Camden. Nope, not even the same continent. Also, what's so bad about Cleveland? People seem to rip on it often. There are much worse cities in Ohio within 2 hours drive. Barks Root Beer. It's the best. If you don't know, now you know. The world's most phallic building, aka the Big Dick, aka the Brick Dick. They say that Eminem was from St. Joseph. I'd believe it. They also said his grandma used to go around town and be mean at the restaurants. Not anymore though. Good old St. Joe. The start of the Pony Express and the end of Jesse James. It's a rundown, drug-infested shithole no ways, but it's home to me. About the Eminem thing. One of my teachers in high school in St. Joseph went to school with Marshall Mathers back in the day. Described him as a strange loner who always went around jotting things, poems and things down in a notebook. I guess some of that stuff might have went into his rap songs or something. Back in the 90s, some skinheads threw a brick through a Jewish family's window during Hanukkah. The window in question had a menorah displayed in it at the time. So the local newspaper printed a large picture of a menorah and most everyone in the town cut it out and taped it in their windows using the slogan, "Not in our town." A children's book and play were written about it. Billings. Holy shit. Yup. Black Sabbath. Brummyville. Slang for Birmingham. Having a shitload of Greeks and sponge farming. Tarpon. Ding ding. My hometown is known for its scenic beauty, luxurious resorts, and historic mansions. Home of the former Playboy Club as well. The Blue Banana Stand. Ketchup. Hi fellow Pittsburgher. Happy Cake Day. Thanks. Crackheads and low drug prices. Cleveland. Or not. Who knows? You guys in the US are getting kind of mysterious about all of that kind of stuff. Lots of things. But I think the most important one is the Amber Alert was made because a little girl from my town was kidnapped. I used to work at the school where that happened and didn't know until the day I was cleaning my office out and the principal told me the story. Edit. I just looked that up and realized the principal was telling me a factoid. Not a fact. I've been misinformed for 5 years. Crabs and murder. Go Ravens. A giant bell with a crack in it. Philly! Exclamation mark. Coconut pies there *seeking good, I swear. Al Capone and rum running, and some brewery incident. Chicago. Being a shithole with nothing but trash internet. Filming location for Twin Peaks. For having the country road. Everyone associates that song with West Virginia. But the writer was writing about a road in Maryland. So it really is Wet Virginia, not West. Who is that mountain mama? Bruce Springsteen. Freehold! Exclamation mark. I'm Brazilian. My city, or better, the estate I live in, is famous for a snack called pão de queijo. And honestly I love it. It's delicious and the better part is that you can eat it any time of the day. And if you try one, eat it while drinking coffee. You won't regret it. Trust me. Airdrie. IDK but Calgary is famous for the stampede and general cowboy things. Climate change denial is probably more apartment. We had the most powerful earthquake ever recorded in 1960. Anchorage. Nope, it's in Latin America. Valdez. Jeffrey Dahmer. I remember like 3 years ago it being the 8th best place in the US to live. We're number 8. We're number 8. Yankee Stadium. The Bronx. Bingo. Wayne's World. Party time. Excellent. and a serious gang war in the early 90s when it was labeled the worst city to live in. Both happened around the same time. A real thinker. Aurora used to go to the mall there. Columbine, throwing tea in the ocean. Two things. It's a town that goes through Route 66 and was the town that inspired radiator springs in cars. In the world, nothing. In the country I live in. A president that couldn't handle his money in a drugstore that has branch stores throughout the country. In the region one live in. Conservative, well-off people that think they're better than most. Absolutely nothing. Mine is known as the city on the edge of nature. Somewhere in Oregon, an awesome celebration called Fête des Lumières, which literally means Festival of Lights, and it is in honor of Marie, or Mary in English, the saint, for stopping the Black Plague. It's truly charming, really fascinating and unique. Amish people. That's about it. Lancaster, Arthur, Florida man. It's the oldest city in the country. St. Augustine, Plymouth Rock, the birth of the American Industrial Revolution. Legal prostitution, gambling, overall sleaziness. Carson City, Nevada, Reno, Nevada. Carson City is more redneck. Las Vegas is, well, it's Vegas. Reno is just the perfect amount of trashy. I live in Vegas. Love that everyone outside of Vegas describes it the same way as people who live in Vegas. Bomb-ass German food. Like seriously, you'll shit yourself at how good it is. Where's that? Probably somewhere in Germany. Probably somewhere in Germany. Not a damn thing that's worth shit. Cheesesteaks. Philly. You got it. Hockey fights. Literally nothing. Hello Antarctican. The beaches and the surfing. Stampede. Calgary. The country stampede. Brad Pitt. Nixa. Nice. I thought he graduated from Kickapoo. Got mixed up with my Jason Bourne series. Fond memories of debate tournaments at both. I grew up in an area nicknamed the Murder Triangle. I think you can work it out. A concert venue, a mass murder, and a UFO sighting. We have a church built in the 12th century, that's it. A small-town murder that was featured on 60 Minutes. Known to some as the Mayberry of the Midwest, the town is so quiet that a murder has never been recorded in its history. The world's hottest pepper. Indians moving here. Rape. Even though this is where we keep the bones of the three Saint Kings. The Gamescom is held here. It's a media metropolis and has the largest Gothic church in Europe, being the hometown of Les Paul. Meth addiction. A little white groundhog that predicts the arrival of spring. Pedophilic priests. Home of George W. and Laura Bush. Laura was born in town, but George moved when he was a kid. His childhood home is a Musée Monsieur. He isn't the only famous person from my hometown. Former NFL RB Cedric Benson. Rip. Tommy Lee Jones. Woody Harrelson. And more. Rooster McConaughey, brother of Matthew McConaughey, lives in town as well. He is famous for three things. Being Matthew's brother, being on West Texas Investors Club TV show, and naming his kids Miller Lite and Margarita. Matthew McConaughey's brother named his kids Miller Lite and Margarita. WTF. And his name is Rooster to boot. Clearly, you're in Texas, but I don't remember where the Bush family is from, monsieur. First in friendship, fourth in obesity. Welcome to Douche Nation, home of the stick-up Leslie Knope's butt. It's one of the school shooting ones. Sadly, there seems to a couple hundred of those now. The first Wendy's restaurant is here and the HQ is across the street. Also, there's a chaotic roundabout down the street from the Wendy's. Daryl Worley, for the fact that it is on the point where three rivers meet. It is called the City of Rivers. Absolutely nothing. A really big music festival and a terrible, terrible shooting. Isn't really famous, but it's known for this big glacier rock called the Big Rock just outside of the town. Well, my entire state, but dairy. Say You Love Satan Murders. Book was wrote about it. Barbecue and Murder. Kansas City. Memphis, Tennessee. HEAT, it's always 40 degrees here every day. 105 degrees Fahrenheit for you weirdos out there. First time DNA was ever used to solve a crime here. And yes, I mean first time globally. Pamela Anderson. Oh, and big ass cinnamon buns. An unsolved multiple homicide of an entire family, including a newborn baby. The Beatles. The Jonas Brothers are from my town. Walmart. You must be where I live. Sure is strange to see the home office parking lot as empty as it has been lately. I'm actually ashamed to admit this, but the birthplace of the king. The exterior shots of the shoe factory in the original Jumanji were filmed there. Largest single-floor library in America. Torso murders. The river that runs through it catching on fire. Rock and roll. Meth. Mickey Schoeneck missing case. Also a theater shooting. It was also voted happiest city in US. Nothing. Being in between two larger towns, where they just killed a mass shooter, not much else has happened there. Skyrim Monsieur, I'm from Bethesda, MD. Being named the same as a popular sitcom of the 90s but on the other side of the country. Wheat, said every Midwest US town ever. Being close to the capital. Animation. Springfield, Tokyo, France, California? Ah, yes, the great cities of France and California. Millet's Coffee House. Lots of attractions for tourists. Fashion. Two big football, soccer clubs. In Italy or France. Murder of Tia Sharp and another murder of Sally Ann Bowman. Oh, dubstep was invented there too. London. Unless you mean a specific borough town in the area? Croydon. Tia Sharp was in New Addington. Sally Ann Bowman South Croydon. And Big Apple Records started dubstep. Meth and brain sandwiches. Steelworks. Essen. Pittsburgh. Sheffield. Soybeans edited to change my answer. Decatur? No, it's in the Midwest. Decatur, Illinois is the home of ADM, and it reeks of soy. Smiley face. We have a big horse racing track. No, it's not Louisville. Pizza. New York City. Being an absolute shithole that happens to have good schools. The headquarters of a fairly large sugar refining corporation, and more recently Minute Maid. Giant rock, it's called Castle Rock. Bill Clinton. Hope. Chemicals. A long leg name. Winnipesaukee. I'm not googling it, this is close enough. It's his hometown. Grunge, socks and sandals. Starbucks. Somewhere in California. Salt Hall. Morton Salt began in our town. More accurately, our town started as the mining town that grew up around the mine when it was first started, and they still mine salt to this day. Salt is not cheaper to buy there. Every time I hear of Morton Salt, I think of the time a wall collapsed at the factory in Chicago. Ruined a ton of Lexuses. Having a $60 million high school football stadium. Allen. Asparagus. Cooler up. Worcester sauce. Corn. Have nothing to do, and all people do is gossip about stuff. Not kidding. So literally any town with 1,000 greater than people. Underwear. My hometown has really beautiful beaches. Bizerte, Tunisia. Rocky stairs. Making the gates to Buckingham Palace. 10,000 lakes. Town, not state. Cheeky smiley face. Mine is known for waterfalls. It was actually dubbed City of Waterfalls because of how many waterfalls we have here. And pretty sure we have the most waterfalls of any other city in the world. Two artists named Costantino Nivola and Mario Dell'Itala, and the coke selling. A pink house built by a rich dude in 1850s, or a castle built by a rich eccentric dude built in 2003 and have been on the market ever since. Oldest brewery in the world. Do tell, being the hometown of the Matt and Kevin Dillon. And Lou Gehrig lived here while he played for the Yankees. Mamaroneck, New York. Being shit. Things being pissed all over and or being set on fire. Not exactly famous, but that's what most people generally think of when they think of my shithole. Town. Mercedes-Benz, Porsche, Bosch. Stuttgart. Correct. They say the movie Poltergeist is based off a house in a neighborhood where the homeowner was having a pool dug and they found a cemetery called Black Hope. There was a story on Unsolved Mysteries about it. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.